let's get cutting. Same thing, we're just going to use a square. And now I'm going to have to be a little bit more careful on this one, just because I want to make sure that I don't have to recut this die. So there are no grooves on this, and if you want, you can always go and make some grooves, you know, with like a just a, what are they called? Not a graver, but you know what I'm trying to say. A stylus or a pencil or something in here to scratch. And you can see that the ink comes up off with the metal. And so if you do it right, we should theoretically have our nice perfect shield. So I'll have to work on that curve a little bit. I'll probably have to go back and cut this. And so if your cuts are uneven, go back and cut them the other way. This will even out your grooves. And it makes them the same thickness all the way through. So you can see, I mean, you can even just see between these two that this one is much thinner than this one. You know, you don't need a whole lot to really tell. So by cutting it the other way, we make those lines the same thickness. I'm gonna readjust that light. Any scratches or anything that we get on the die, no biggie, because it will all get worked off. So right there, I just went a little bit above. It happens. Like I said, it'll just be more time on the sandpaper for us. So worse things have happened. All right, you can see here. So we're going to do our crossbar. I'm actually going to go up into the corner here. Oop. Go up into the corner here, give it just a little cut on the turn, and we'll cut straight across. That was not my best cut ever. Oh, bear with me, folks. Let's go in the other way. So you can see a couple bad cuts there. Again, that's why we don't want to push super hard. If we push too hard, we're going to make those deep, and they're going to be harder to remove on the sandpaper, especially if you don't want to spend a lot of time on the sandpaper, which I don't. All right, let's get you going, buddy. So I'm having, oh, and I broke my tip. So that's why we're having all that trouble. Let me fix my tip and, all right. So we're back. It's not very pretty, but we'll get the job done. And like I said, more time with the sandpaper. So we do have our groove cut in here at the bottom of all of that. So you can see it is much deeper than the rest of these cuts. So what that means is I'm just going to take a few steps. I'll do a few more steps off camera. What I'm going to do is I'm going to mark in my lines and the positions of our stars. So I'll do that real quick here. And I'm just going to take some time off camera to work with this on some sandpaper to get that smoothed out a bit, sand it down a bit, recut some of the lines, sand it down a bit more, cut those lines again, just so that we can take those lines down through the layers of steel and get rid of the layers of steel that have scratches and ugly marks on them. So I'll be back in a bit. All right, so just to check in, it's been probably about 15 minutes. Sanding, recutting, sharpening the graver, going back, doing it all again. So you can see the line's starting to go away right here on the top. And a few extra skips just from cutting with a engraver that's sharper. A couple extra slides, so those will come out. But you can see the line is a bit better now. I do keep some silly putty handy so we can check our depth. Let's take a quick look. So we can see here the line that is showing up. Let me put that a little bit out of the way. The line that's showing up here now is a bit better. Almost as even as the other ones. Looks like we've got to deepen it down a little bit on the lower left. But our shield is coming along. I'll probably spend 10 more minutes or so finishing this up. So we'll be back. All right, we're back. So it took probably another 30 minutes or so. We went up to 800 grit, so we got our polish out while we were off screen. So I'm gonna do a quick once around on this outer ring, so it's a little thin. All right. So we've got our mark there. I'm gonna test one thing. I'm just testing the size of my star punch. I might have to do a smaller one. We'll see how it goes. Okay, so we're gonna get started. Punching is a little less forgiving because you are gonna be working a lot deeper in the metal. And now, when I have punching, I'm talking about these guys here. So these are little shapes of metal that you can see. So this one is a stem. So those are things like the backbone of the D or an R or something like that. And if I wanted to make like a little letter, I'm going to take another shape and put that up with it. So right there we've got our little P. If we want to make that into an R, put a little triangle for the leg, so on and so forth for all the letters that we need. So, and remember, we're working in the reverse, so I'm crossing out my forward writing and just looking at my reverse writing. So, all right. So we'll see, and let's get started. So, we're going to start with our initial cross. This is just a mark to show the beginning of the legend. You're ready to go. So, I do still have my center mark in here, and I'm trying to line up on that. Okay, here we go. False alarm. There we go. All right. So we moved a little bit, but that's okay. That's going to get hidden up by our line. Move this guy up a little bit. Alright, well that's just how it goes sometimes. We're a little off, but nothing we can't live with. Definitely something we see on medieval coins, but our modern eye wants perfection. So sometimes it's hard. Alright, hopefully we don't have quite as big of a mess up again. We'll get punching the rest of our letters here. I love making coins. It's very satisfying. It's very rewarding. Just little things like that, getting those punches right. Now we do things like this, where we get a punch wrong, or we have a skip, but it's part of the job. All right. Now I'm going to take another quick moment just to check my letter spacing for the next word. All right. We're back. And it looks like everything's going to fit. So we are going to go on full steam ahead. Oh, and I got to get my earplugs. All right. So I had stopped because I was looking for a punch, forgetting I had made a little stand and had put it where it was supposed to be. And I was looking everywhere for where it shouldn't have been. So I like to do word spacers. Normally I'm just do a little pellet or two. We'll do double pellets. So, barony. We need the word of. So get our big hammer.